Hello, friends. For those of you who have been following along with my journey over the last several years, as I've lived in different countries and seen and experienced a lot of different and amazing and exciting things, um, you know that there have been times also where I've come in contact with a lot of things that have frustrated me and saddened me. And we don't really have to look any further than the last week or so with all of the attacks that have happened around the world and all of the negative feelings that have come out of it, all of the deaths, all of the increased fear and hatred. And often in these situations, the first thing I think of is, what can I do to help? And here in Thailand, I've become aware of a similar situation that is happening just next door to me in Myanmar. Ever since the early 60s, Myanmar, which was at that point called Burma, has struggled with a lot of political problems that have, a nice way of saying, genocide, ethnic cleansing, civil war, a lot of really terrible things that have turned Myanmar into one of the poorest nations in the world. And things are getting better. There was a recent democratic election that was a giant step forward compared to what they have been experiencing before. But there's still a lot of work to do, and one of the biggest areas that still needs the attention of the global community is the fate of the Rohingya people. And the Rohingya are an ethnic Muslim minority in Myanmar who are not given citizenship in their own country. So they live in Myanmar, but they are not citizens of Myanmar. They don't have citizenship in any country in the world. This means that they have no legal recourse or governmental recourse to protect themselves legally. They are persecuted. They are forced to work without pay or very little pay. Their land is taken from them. Their buildings are destroyed. They're murdered. The situation has become so bad that many consider them to be the most persecuted people in the world. And we have situations in the Middle East now where refugees are fleeing to Europe. And there's a very similar situation here in Myanmar where the people are fleeing in boats. And so you may have never heard of the Rohingya, or you may have heard of them referred to as the boat people. They're fleeing Myanmar in huge numbers to escape the persecution, but there's nowhere for them to go, and so they drift around on the ocean waiting for someone to take them in. And if you're anything like me, you had no idea about this situation. You've never heard of the Rohingya. You may not know that much about Myanmar. And this was happening right next door to me, and I really had no idea what was going on until this year. As I've lived in Thailand and as I've done research and as I've met people who are involved already in helping these people, I've become aware of the situation, and I've reached a point where I'm able to finally do something about it. So, I have an announcement to make. As of January of this coming year, 2016, I will be moving to Chiang Mai, Thailand. Chiang Mai is in the north part of Thailand, and it's the headquarters of an organization called Partners Relief and Development, and I will be working with Partners Relief and Development as a graphic designer. What I will be doing is I will be telling the stories of the Rohingya people, the work that Partners does with the Rohingya and with other ethnic groups within northern Thailand and within Myanmar. And Partners has been in the trenches, so to speak, for the last 10 years or so. And they focus on things like education, creating sustainable schools, healthcare, not only healthcare, but training healthcare workers to be in communities where they don't have access to adequate medical facilities or help, agricultural training, migrant assistance, and advocacy, raising awareness for the situations that are going on right now, as well as disaster relief. So if there are refugees, or if there are people who are affected, especially children who are affected by these situations, Partners is in place to provide food and temporary housing and the basic necessities until they can get back on their feet. So my role within Partners will be to tell the story of not only what Partners is doing, but to tell about the situation in Myanmar, and to show the world how they can become involved in helping this group of people who really desperately need our help. So this is where you come in. The job at Partners is a volunteer position. Partners is able to do the wonderful things that they do because people donate their time and their expertise to support the organization. And so I need to raise $12,000 for my salary for next year. And I don't like asking for money, and I've been trying to figure out how to go about asking and fundraising for a while, because it doesn't come easy to me. But I believe wholeheartedly in the stories that I will be spreading and sharing with all of you. And I believe wholeheartedly in the mission and the vision of the organization that I'll be working for. And these people are important, and my pride is not. So if you can donate. If you can share. If you can tweet or like or whatever, it would be very much appreciated, because I know that together we can do much more than any of us can do individually. So thank you so much. I can honestly say that none of this would be possible without your support, without your donations, and without your thoughts and your prayers. So you can donate through Partners' website. I will be giving information as I release this video. You can give one time, or you can give on a monthly basis with an automatic withdrawal. Very useful. So again, thank you so much for hanging in there through this long rambling explanation. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your support. And I'm very excited to see what will happen over the course of this coming year.